Hi there. Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? So, hopefully, this sounds amazing. And hopefully, all of you are just as amazing. I'm going to put that right there. I'm putting my phone over there just in case. This is the eve before Christmas Eve. So, it's Monday night, and I am on now because I couldn't come on Friday night, which I intended to, and it was such an SH show over the weekend. This is what happened. Friday night, Rhode Island decided to get belted with not a lot of snow, okay? Not a lot of snow. But it wasn't the snow that was the problem. It was A, the other drivers on the road besides myself, and B, the slick conditions that were being caused on the road. So where I was is only like 20 minutes away from where I needed to get to. It took me over an hour and a half. So needless to say, I was completely burnt out by the time I hit my destination. So Friday night was out of the question. It wasn't happening. I was toasted. Saturday rolls around. I can't. I wake up Saturday morning. Now, mind you, I mean, I was fine Friday night. I was just burnt, like a piece of burnt toast. I was burnt out from being in the car and driving 2 miles an hour. All right, whatever. So that's over with. Get up Saturday morning. My nose is dripping and running like a faucet. I mean, it just would not stop. It's just flowing, flowing, flowing. And I'm like, what the F? I was fine. I feel fine. I wasn't sick per se. I just had this nose thing that was going on and it just wouldn't stop. I stopped at CVS. I bought a couple of boxes of tissue, went through one whole box. I know. And I go on TikTok and I'm like, all right, how does one get rid of a runny nose? I mean, listen, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So I said, let me go on TikTok because that's a great place to discover information as well. So I put that in, and I'm not here. I'm not sponsored by anything tonight, but I do have to recommend a couple of products to you guys because I told you I only talk about stuff I love myself and I believe in. People reach out to me all the time. Oh, promote my chair, promote my carpet. No, I don't even know your stuff. I talk about things to you guys that I have personally used. I'm not sponsored. I spend my own money and I think this stuff is amazing. So I saw several people on TikTok talking about Sudafed. And you're going, dude, Sudafed, how common is that? Well, no, this is not common because there's a story behind it. So this Sudafed, and this is what I learned on TikTok, you have to ask the pharmacist for it. So this is not, out in the aisle, okay? And the reason why is because it has pseudo pseudoephedrine in it. There's something else that the over the counter stuff has. It begins with a P as well. And that you don't want. Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. But this stuff, you have to sign for it. So you ask the pharmacist for it and then you sign for it. This stuff, magical. It's magical. Now, mind you, I did this right away. So right when my nose was running, I hopped online. It was within a few hours that I took this stuff. This worked like a charm. And I did also use saline spray, regular generic Walmart. Yes, I'm saying the word Walmart. Saline, like cleaner outer. And I took one Claritin at 6:00 at night. Guys, this is the stuff. I'll link it later like whenever I get a chance to. But this is the stuff you ask the pharmacist for it. This is only I'm telling you my symptoms, runny nose. Nothing else. Like I was fine. Like I felt fine. It's just like this stuff just coming out of my head. I don't know where it's coming from. This stuff worked like a charm. I can't eat like this is I c- I can't say enough good things about it. It was fantastic. I signed something for it. Eunice, thank you so much. Thank you. You know that goes to our radio station, Kiki.fm, keeps us afloat because let me tell you, getting a little close. We need to stay floating if you want to keep listening. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. This stuff is great. This stuff is great, and I will link it later. Another thing I have to talk to you ladies and gentlemen about actually, some of you gentlemen dye your hair. I know. Guys do it. So yesterday, Al, he just went to Texas to visit our daughter. He was gone all week. And he came back and I said, "You know what? The gray and if you watch one of my videos from the last live video I did, you could really see the gray in my hair. It was driving me nuts. I said, I'm not going to the hairdresser now. I don't have time. Da, 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 da. Let me color my roots like I do in between. I swear by this stuff. However, I had a box of it at my house and I opened it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if you can see it, but I'm going to show you. I'm returning this because I called the store. I'm like, it shouldn't be this color, right? If it's supposed to be brown. Oh, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. All right. No, it doesn't look like it was bright mustard yellow, like the color that Eunice just put up there. It was that color. And I'm like, she goes, well, just do a little test piece. I did. It was still yellow. I said, I'm not putting this in my hair. I put in an order for Sally Beauty online. I'm telling you guys, if you don't use Instacart, you're missing out. Like, because this is my new thing now. And who feels like going out when there's tons of Christmas traffic? I mean, it's been insane around here. I don't know about you guys, but it has been ridiculous. Traffic, I can't stand it. I can't. So I ordered this online so I could do my hair yesterday. And within a half an hour, it was at my door. Shut up. And I got to tell you, the gloss, the shine this stuff gives, I love this. And for some of you I sound like a commercial tonight, but I'm just telling you, this is stuff I've been using this for a really long time. It's called Ion Demi Permanent Cream Hair Color. Ion. It's from Sally. And then I get the 20 strength developer. I don't know. It's in a bottle. And it's by Ion as well. Stuff works great. I use 4G. What is it? Dark, I don't know. Medium golden brown. That's what I use. This stuff in between going to your hairdresser or even just doing it yourself. I mean, the whole 2 pieces are like $14. You cannot go wrong. And this stuff will last you about 2 months in your hair. It's fantastic. And I just love the gloss it gives. And I'm going to try glossing my hair, but I want to wait until this settles in. But yeah, so this is great. I'll link that to, I don't know, tomorrow or something like that. So I just want to share these things with you guys because, again, great value, things that work. I like to hear about things that work, not just because I'm getting paid, which I'm not. I'm not sponsored by anybody for these things. I want to tell you guys about things that are good value and truly work. So there you go. Now we have a couple of Christmas cards. This is from Mark McCullough from Baltimore. Thank you, Mark. Let's open up the card. As we say in Rhode Island, open up the card. I'm opening up the card. Don't stop. How do you find these things? How do you find this? Don't stop believing. I have not seen one of these cards. He must have ordered this or something. Wishing you a magical holiday. Love, Mark and Dawn. Thank you so much. That was very sweet. Let me put that here. And then this card is from DG. And also, we have a new Instagram page. And Patty Taylor is so sweet. I don't know if she's here, but She said, "Oh my gosh, is that like a scam account?" And thank you so much, everybody, for looking out for us. It is not a scam account. Kat, actually, our daughter Kat, set it up for us. So that is our new Instagram page. We're on Instagram now at Kiki.fm radio, which is so cool. Believe Santa Claus. Santa Clausy. And it says, "You are very special in my life. We may not have met live, but you are friends in every way that matters. And I love you. God bless. Love you, DG Polar." You know what? Thank you so much. We appreciate this, guys. And I also appreciate everybody. And I'm so sorry I haven't answered. I took yesterday to, like I said, I did color my hair, but I chilled out just because I felt great yesterday. I did. I felt so much better, but just to kick back and make sure that I was completely better. And I feel so good today. I'm telling you. And another big thing when you're getting sick this time of the year, rest. No matter what, you have to rest and sleep it off and get it the minute you feel like you're not feeling well. You got to snap it right in the bud, just kick it in the ass right away. Because if you don't, you let it linger and linger, it's just no bueno. Anyway, so hi to everybody who is here, Sierra and Suzanne and Eunice and Tanya, and I'm probably missing people, but thank you so much for being here tonight at such a last minute notice. So we appreciate that very, very much. And I just got to tell you, hi, Nancy, how are you? And Gail, oh my gosh, how are you? Merry Christmas to everyone as well. And Cindy, I hope you guys are going to have an amazing holiday. We are, we're just spending time together and, we're happy about it. So I was just saying that, hold on one second. Hold on. It's driving me crazy. Okay, there we go. So Al just got back from Texas. And so picking him up last night. Hi, Judy. How are you? It was interesting. So let me start with my story. I go to pick Al up. His flight landed 11:22. Okay. So I get in my car. I'm there by 10 of 11 ish. And I'm getting off the highway. Like, what? The traffic just to get on the off ramp to get into the airport parking lot was Eunice. Yes. Thank you so much for your card. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. But yes, we did get it last week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I apologize. It's been a little crazy around here, but yes, Eunice did send us a card as well. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to you. So it was absolutely insane. I'm waiting in line and I'm like, what do you do? So cause I haven't been to the airport like that in a while. The last time our daughter came in, we parked in the lot, paid $6 or whatever, walked in and got her. But this time I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm in my PJs. I'm not getting out of the car. So I drive up to where you can pick everybody up. And there's a guy like, no, go, keep going. I'm like, wait a minute. Calm the F down, buddy. It's Christmas. Keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. So I'm like, okay. So I continue to drive around again. And then I see this sign. It says cell phone parking lot. Now I'm like, what the heck is that? I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of such a thing. But again, I'm not a world traveler. So I just didn't know. So I try to find the cell phone parking lot. Now I see tons of people parked. Like, okay. So I go through the little red light. I take a right because it says cell phone parking lot. So I took the right. And all of a sudden, I'm in with police and ginormous buses coming through and people directing the buses and limousines and chauffeurs. And I'm going, I'm totally in the wrong place. And then I pull in this little parking lot where these people are all sitting in their cars. So I'm thinking, well, that has to be it. And I'm going in the wrong way. So people like looking at me going, oh my God. "Don't you know how to drive?" I mean, we are on Rhode Island, so I cautiously turned around in this little tight spot, and I backed up, and I gently exited the wrong way parking lot, which I thought was the cell phone parking lot. Maybe it was, I don't know. So I go back into where the chauffeured people, buses were. Like, what is happening? Like, they're all coming towards me, and I didn't know what to do. So I turned around, and more buses are coming out, and I just said, "Oh my god." So I drive back around, and this time I was able to get in the line to pick Al up. So the guy that was yelling before, he's like directing people, now they can park in front of the airport drop off, whatever. I'm like, why didn't you just let us do that before? What, it's 2 minutes difference or whatever. So I'm waiting for Al, and he finally comes out, and it was so nice to see him. He'd been gone for 5 days. He had a great time with Kat, just visiting Texas. He saw all kinds of deer. He was happy, she was happy. They got to spend daddy-daughter time together, and, I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna have this relaxing week." It was so busy, and it went by so fast, and I missed him so much, but it did go by wicked fast, and I was just glad to have him home and glad to get back home after that fiasco at the airport. I'm like, "This is so unorganized for the smallest airport probably on the planet." It was so disorganized and so chaotic. And people were just like, then there people are forming their own lanes. And I said, "What the what? I just want to get out of here." So we did finally get out, and it was a privilege to get home safe and sound and in one piece. And in one piece. Hey, Elise, how are you? Hi, Rhonda. And I know, frazzled. So I'm on the highway today, coming back from picking up a doggie that, I'm watching. Her name is Micah, and she's so cute, and I don't know if she'll make an appearance. She probably would if I let her, but I don't know, because then Louis is very, curious right now, I might say, about Micah. So, driving driving back, and literally, guys, I said, I don't know if people are like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, but so on either side of the highway, I'm going this way, and we have a shopping plaza in Smithfield, Rhode Island called, oh gosh, is it called, what is it called? Smithfield Commons in Smithfield, Rhode Island. The line off of the highway to get into the plaza was like into the highway. And I'm telling you, people had to wait at least an hour in that line to get into that plaza. And it was the same on the other side for the other on ramp to get into that plaza. And I said, are you people crazy? Really? Are you out of your ever loving minds? I have not been in that mode for years, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't. Like, listen, if I don't have everything, I don't stress about it anymore. I don't, because it's not worth it. Because guess what? They're going to forget what you got them tomorrow. Isn't that terrible? I know. I'm being a Grinch, but it's true. Like, you're going to go out and buy all of these last minute gifts for what purpose? Just tell me. I know it's fun, and everybody likes to give gifts at Christmas time, but let's be honest. I mean, I'm in the whole mindset now. If you don't like me all year long and you just like me one day a year, I don't really like you. I want you to like me 364 days out of the 365. And if you want to like me on Christmas, all right, but I want you to like me all the other days too. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to be liked the whole year, not just one day. So that's where I'm at. And I just, I did go to Market Basket because going to my brother's for a little something something. And I saw this really cute thing on TikTok that I'm going to make with fruit. So I did go to Market Basket. Oh my gosh, that place was insane, insane in the membrane for sure. But I knew that going in, and I was fine with it because I knew what to expect, right? And I was only getting a few items. So the people in the store and the people in the parking lot were so upset and stressed and angry and frazzled and all of it. And I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. Christmas should be fun, And I've also learned to, if I do have a little party or something, I've learned to prepare in advance. I mean, there's always a couple of things you have to get at the last minute, but I've learned to, if I have to buy some soda or something like that, I get the things in advance. I don't wait until the last minute and get everything at the last second. I buy a little bit at a time. So I think if everybody gets more prepared, it wouldn't be as chaotic. I mean, the energy was so wrong. And this should be a happy time, hustle and bustle in a good way. Hustle and bustle and just, oh, I'm gonna get, more stocking stuffers. Da, da, da. But no, people were pissed. Like they were just losing their stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Peter Michaels, how are you? Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you so much. That was very sweet for you to stop by. We haven't seen you. Oh, Eunice, so true. So true. I agree with you. Let's open up Robert Fleischman's emotional atlas package he sent to us. Now, there's a surprise for me inside. And I'm not going to say anything until I see it first, but let's open it. So here it is. I won't show the front, but oh, poopy doodle. Do I not have a skizzer? Well, I can figure this out. I can do it. But this is a very bulky bag. Now, I've got to also put the link to Robert's wonderful new record. And it really is, like I've called it, enjoyable. It is a lovely record and very nice to listen to. And I hope that you guys get yourselves a copy from the OG Journey singer, right? I mean, let's be real. He just doesn't want to take the credit for that. He's always like, "No, I'm not." Yeah, you are. You're the first guy, really, before Steve P, before Peppermint Perry, to step out on that stage with Journey. So you are the OG, man, whether you like it or not. And no matter how many minutes you were with the band, you were still originally with the band. I've got it. This is going to work. I'm just going to I'm going to be patient. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to open this package and it's going to be fine. That rhyme. Did that rhyme? I think so. It rhymed just in time. Rhymed just in time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How can you just leave me standing alone in a world so cold? Maybe you're just too demanding. Maybe you're just like my whoever rapped this did a really good job. Maybe you're just like my father, too bold. Maybe you're just like my mother. This is ridiculous. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry. All right, it's coming. It's going to happen. It'll happen today, I promise you. Can you just leave me standing? I don't know why I'm singing Prince. It's Christmas. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. This year, I'll give it to someone special. I should have had a skizzer. Sorry. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, don't break a nail, gave it away. Come on, you ding dong. I really should have had a skizzer. So clearly, you know that if you're getting a Robert Fleischman record set, it's really well packed. Oh my gosh, I need something sharp because this is going to take me all day. Come on now. Come on, baby. Come on. Just figure it out. Get it. Get it. Just go and get it. I'm looking at a sign that says Kiki's Recording Studio. That's so nice. Last Christmas. What's another good song? Santa Claus is coming to town. This is so embarrassing. I really should have been more prepared, and I apologize. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh my gosh. I'm sweating. Oh my God, you're the best. That's why I'm married to him. That is why, because he's so special. Like, he's so special. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Al. I was struggling. He knew I was struggling. All right. Come on now. Al is the best in the West. Yeah. He's the best. He's the best. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. This is really well packed. Good job, Packer person. Hit the like button, guys, if you don't mind. I really appreciate that. It's free, cheap, and easy, just like me. That was not nice at all. Oh, gosh. Cheap jokes. Why not? Because, you know, why not? Go for the potty humor. Go for the potty humor. Oh my God, what movie did I watch? Oh, I watched some creepy movies this weekend. And I'm not even going to say because they were just that creepy. All right, here we go. Oh, this is nice, kids. This is nice. All right, very nice packaging. Very, 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 very nice. Got the CD right here. Robert Fleischman CD. Oh, and it's sealed up. Let's open it up, shall we? Tell you, this artwork is amazing. Look at that. Look at that. There's the back. Open it up. Oh, look at that. All Robert, all day. CD's right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is cool. That is cool. Beautiful packaging, I must say. Like, this is wonderful. A lot of work went into this. A lot of work. And I got to get an album. Oh my gosh. Look at that. What? You know, so Robert said, "You're in the special thanks." And I'm like, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. We are. We are right there. Kiki Al Snape. Right there. I have never had the honor of being on an album. What? What? Robert. Oh my gosh. And you know who else is in the special thanks? Vinnie Vincent, Kiss family, Journey family, Chip Zinoff, Violet Fleischman, Michael Fleischman. Wow. What an honor. What an honor. Gene Simmons. What the heck? Wow. That Greg Raleigh, that is so freaking cool. Wow. What an honor. What an honor. And this album is dedicated to Michelle Fleischman, 1972 to 2020, his wife. A wonderful dedication. And this album, guys, is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, wow. Wow. You can see why it took so long to complete. It's, I can't even, this is like a hardcover book, to be quite honest. It feels that good. This is, you're not going to find any other record like this. Now, I know that this is on colored vinyl. We have to see for ourselves. So, I mean, the quality of this paper is unbelievable. This is not just a regular sleeve. This is shut up. Like this, when I tell you this makes me crazy in a good way. Wow. Is that not gorgeous? Wow. Wow. Wowza. You know, and here it is, I'm going crazy on the packaging and everything, but of course the music is unbelievable on this album. But let's look at the other one. Shall we? Wow. Oh my. What? What? What is this? Is crazy. Oh my guys, you have to get this album for for what it is, and it's just incredibly put together. I don't think I've seen anything like this even back in the day. I'm telling you. Wow. Whoever put this packaging together, incredible. Oh my god. Are you kidding? Stop it. Yellow vine. Give me a break. Come on. This is crazy. Crazy. And I'm not doing this justice at all. Wow. And I got a record player right there. And you bet your beans olas this is going on the record player. This is going to sound amazing. Wow. And he signed it. Signed it. He signed it. You can I think each copy is signed. You guys got to get this. I will put the link in the description box as soon as I get a chance. And if this doesn't make you buy this album, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. He's signing these. There's only a limited amount available to mankind. So get yourself a copy, everybody. And if you haven't heard any of the tracks, go and listen to them. Robert Fleischman, Emotional Atlas, beautiful, beautiful packaging, amazing music, and done by a real class act. Robert Fleischman, original lead singer of Journey. Crazy, crazy. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, thank you. Oh my God. That's crazy. So cool. So cool. Did you hear me screaming? Al told me not to scream. I know. So Eunice said, dang, the colors are awesome. Halise said, cool deal. Suzanne said, very nice. Awesome. Tanya said, colored vinyl, exclamation point. This is what I'm saying. Like, who even does that anymore? Nobody. Peter Baker. It's the Blue album. I mean, come on. Come on. Thank you, Eunice. That's very nice. I mean, I'm wow. Wow. So cool. And crazy moment. Crazy moment. Oh my God. That's so neat. Is that not neat? I'm sorry. It's just really cool. Emotional Atlas, Robert Fleischman. Very cool. Okay. So there was an interview. I told you guys, I'm not going to do any other entertainment news tonight. We're just going to talk about this interview that was done with Steve Perry. And it was done by Paul Myers from the Record Store Day podcast. Now, I listened to this and dissected it last week. So I'm literally just going by my notes. And I don't remember what I said. I'm just going to read them to you guys. And whatever popped in my mind went onto the paper. And we're just going to chat about it and see what you guys have to say. So they talked about a lot of things. I will have to say nothing really riveting in the interview. It's all stuff we've heard before, but it's always nice to hear from Steve Perry. So, again, like as they're going through the interview, I'm thinking of other questions, I might have expanded on, but that's me. I'm not, Paul Myers did a great job with it. I thought it was a really great interview to listen to. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm just like, and again, he probably does the same thing. He probably listens to his interviews sometimes and maybe he doesn't, I don't know, but he might say, you know what? I could have asked that. after he answered that. Like, because there's always something you could say, "Oh, I could have expanded on that," or whatever. But anyway, great interview, and it's always good to hear from Steve. We don't care, we just wanna hear from Steve Perry. But isn't it funny? I just talked about that not too long ago. I said, "Why isn't Steve coming out and talking about his album?" Because he just released this brand new album, and there's, like, no interviews about it, and now all of a sudden, there's 2 in 1 week. I didn't listen to the other one by Laura Cantrell, I think, from Dark Horse Radio. But, if I get a chance, I will do that one. But we're gonna do this one by Paul Myers. So, the season 3, um I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I meant here. This is what I'm saying. Like, I did this a week ago, so I don't even remember. But it says, love Perry Como, Nat King Cole, Johnny Mathis, the magic of the season. And this is considered a pop version of the classics. That's what Steve said. And, he went on to talk about listening to the radio. We love the radio with his grandma cooking in the kitchen, and she had a tree that used to grow mistletoe. Never heard of such a thing. I didn't even know that there was a tree that did that. And he said to her, he was like 10, I think he said, "Grandma, come here." And she said, "What?" And he said, "Come here." And he got her under the mistletoe and kissed her on the cheek. Like, how cute is that? As a 10-year-old boy, like that. To me, that says, oh my gosh, like he's just such a cutie pie, like by him doing that to his grandma. And it's just so sweet and sentimental. And at 10, him doing that also says of how what is the word I'm looking for? Like heartfelt of a person he seems to be, and how connected he is to the music that he has sung and that he writes about and talks about. Like, he's so connected to his past and the music that he used to listen to. So it's just very interesting how that sentiment started when he was a young boy. So I did find that interesting. And he did talk about, Paul asked about the eighth note necklace that he has around his neck. And he said that his mom gave it to him when he was 12 and he's never taken it off until recently. He had to have it fixed or something like that. And Steve said he loves radio and the limiting compression that's on the radio. And he was very impressed when Paul Myers brought that up. And Steve went on to say that records were made purposefully to sound good in your car. Now, when you think about that, like all of us here grew up listening to the radio in our cars, right? That is important. And that is, to me, still important to have a good sounding song playing in my car, especially when it's summertime. Even in the winter, I'll put my window down and go, yo, I'm the cool one here, rocking out to Journey. Girl, can't help it. I don't care. I don't care if it's 20 degrees below zero. I will still pump it. And people look at me driving by going, oh my gosh, she got problems, but I don't care. So that was a really good point too. Records were made to sound good on the radio in your car. Like, how cool is that? And they really did. Think back, driving around in your car in the 80s, the 70s, listen to that music, that banging music that we all loved, no matter what it was. And just, it was just something to hear that great song coming out of those car speakers. Oh my gosh. And if it was your first car, it sounded even better. No matter how crappy the car was, the radio had to sound good. Am I right? I had to have a good radio. That was the most important thing in my life growing up. The boombox, the car radio, and the stereo in my bedroom all had to be banging. They just had to sound good. I was a nerd. I was total freaking geekhead. So, Call Me Irresponsible. They did, a little clip on that. And for those of you who don't know, but I think all of you know, that is the duet with his late dad. Now, it sounded like, as Steve was talking in this interview, so I guess that was the one big takeaway for me from this interview is that it sounds like, allegedly, Steve didn't have a great relationship with his father. And I never really got that impression before when, reading about the duet coming out with him and his dad. It sounded like, oh my gosh, this was, it sounds like it was very special to Steve to find this tape and to have it remade into the song that it was remade into, to put it on the season 3. But I never guessed that they didn't have a great relationship. So that I guess that was the big takeaway for me from this interview with Paul Myers. But he found the cassette in a box by accident, and the last time Steve had heard this song on this lost, now found cassette was in 1993. And he said this song in particular jumped out at him, and to hear his father speak after all of these years. Why did I write fed him up? It can't be that. There's no way he said that. It's got to be something else. So, see, this is what happens. I'm listening and I'm doing other things and I'm trying to dissect. So, he didn't feed him up. He did. I don't know. Led him up. I don't know. But there's no way he said fed him up. So, that's my mistake in my notebook with my writing. It is what it is. And he went on to say he had always wondered why the divorce between his mother and father happened. So that clearly was a sticking point for him growing up and, put some pains in there and probably helped with some of his songwriting that happened in the future. Songwriting, from what I understand, comes from, of course, emotional experiences that people have had in their lives. And like I said a little while ago, Steve seems to have been very sentimental from the get-go and very heartfelt. So he's carried these things with him through the years and then put pen to paper, and here you go. Here we go. Here we have it. And then he talked about Alex and Eddie Van Halen. And he said he apologized, but he said 80% of Van Halen were Alex and Eddie. He said, "Oh, I love the other guys, but," and Eddie was fantastic. And it's true. I mean, Eddie was a rock genius. There's no question about that. And let's see, he talked about protecting the soul. I guess he did this George Harrison song on the Traces album. And he reached out to George's widow, Olivia, and asked if she would take a listen to Steve's version. And she said that George would have totally loved this version. And Steve said he was so honored to hear those words from Olivia Harrison. I mean, amazing, right? And remember, what was it, last year, I think, Olivia had a book signing, I believe, and Steve was there at that event. So, they've had a connection for some time. Let's see. And Sierra Scott says, this podcast, Paul Myers does such a great job of asking unique questions that Perry can't fall back on those standard go-to answers of his that we have all grown accustomed to hearing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I wasn't riveted. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that I feel like, there's a lot more there. There's a lot more to Steve Perry than we've heard about. However, he's probably not going to give that to us, and he doesn't have to. He's going to go as deep as he wants to. So it's not an interviewer thing, because you're right. Paul did ask great questions, and it was a really good interview. But, I'm sure Steve is so accustomed to putting that wall up as soon as he needs to stop, come to that stopping point and not go any further because he could. I'm sure like there's a lot. There y'all know there's a lot there to Steve Perry. I mean, Steve Perry is I think of him with Lou Graham. I just do. I always think of him and Lou in the same, and some people may not. Some people may say, nope, Steve Perry's at the pinnacle. But, come on, Lou was the voice too of the 80s. It was Steve and Lou. Let's be real and honest here. Um, so Steve's got so much history and so like just so much meat to talk about that, I just don't think he's gonna let go of a lot of it. I think he's gonna hold the stuff he needs to close to him because he doesn't have to let that go to us. He doesn't have to share it with us. He doesn't have to. And it's fine because we'll take what we can get. We always say that. We'll take what we can get and we're just happy with getting something right now. I'm glad something happened before Christmas because I was really surprised. I said, you're releasing an album and there's no interviews out there. There's nothing. So I'm glad something happened. I would love for the next one to be with me. Just saying. It would be awesome if Steve eventually spoke with me. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. Crazier things have happened, right? Okay. And then there was a little clip of Foolish Heart. And Paul asked Steve about yacht rock and the whole thing. Now, here's where I have to disagree with Steve's feelings about the whole yacht rock genre. Like, I don't understand how a lot of artists, hold on, are offended by the term yacht rock. Like, why? I still don't understand why. But here's what it says. Steve says that the term yacht rock, he feels condescension. And the reason why he felt the condescension from this term of yacht rock is because he said the quality of songwriting was so good back then that putting it alongside the yacht rock term analogy, he just doesn't feel it fits together. And he feels that they shouldn't be together because I think he's looking at yacht rock as like a slang term for a music genre. But I'm on the way other side of that coin, and I don't see yacht rock as a funny thing at all. I think maybe a lot of people are seeing it that way because we just learned together a couple of weeks ago that a couple of comedians came up with the term yacht rock. But see, I never knew that. And I just take the yacht rock term and I look at it as, just a different, newer type of music genre. I never felt anything bad about the term yacht rock. Have you guys, or is it me? Am I looking at, but again, here's the thing with music, right? And really anything in life, you can interpret it the way you interpret it. It's not right. It's not wrong. So if Steve feels condescension from the term, that's his thought process and that's how he feels. I just never looked at it that way. I think it's just fun. Yacht rock. I think fun and I think soft rock. And like a lot of the softer Doobie Brothers, Christopher Cross, even though he doesn't I don't think he likes it either. But not all Christopher Cross songs, but some of his I feel slide into that genre. Fleetwood Mac, no. See, I don't feel any Fleetwood Mac songs fall into the yacht rock genre. I feel they're still rock. So I don't know. I don't know. Anywho. And then Steve went on to talk about, I guess Paul asked him a question about the first record he ever bought. And Steve went on to talk about, now this was something I had never heard before. So Steve said, and he didn't talk about 2 records, he talked about 3. So he said the first 2 records he bought were at Pearson's Music store in Hanford, and it was Blue Swede, BJ Thomas, and the Kingston Trio. I don't know, that all blended together. There's something wrong with that. But then no, so it was Blue Swede by BJ Thomas, is that correct? I don't know. Kingston Trio, Dooley, and then Green Door was the 3rd. I have no idea. See, I was just taking notes. I don't know these songs, whatever. So, and then Angels Listen in the Crests. I don't know what that was about. And then they talked about We Are the World. And of course, Steve said that was an incredible, chaotic night in rock history. And he said he recalls him and Bette Midler and Paul Simon eating fruit together in the green room. And Bette Midler admitted that the whole night was intense. So that was kind of cool. And he said that Quincy Jones was the teacher while everyone was basically standing around being in awe of each other. I mean, can you, again, another moment in music history that can never be replicated. It can never be duplicated. It can never, ever happen again in our lifetime. I mean, that is something that Quincy Jones, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, they put that together, and man, oh man, oh man, what a night that had to have been. And Paul also asked him about, and again, this is a question that everybody always asks this question about The Sopranos and, what was it like having your song being the last voice heard in The Sopranos? And, Steve, same answer he's given to really everyone. He held out on releasing the use of that song while everybody else said yes, they would allow it to be used. But he said he didn't want it to be part of a wax scene, which, Steve has said that many, 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 many times. And Steve did say when the screen went black, it was a WTF moment. And I guess there was just a documentary about The Sopranos or the director of The Sopranos. I'm not really sure. And it ended the documentary the same way the screen went black. So we thought that was kind of cool. And let's see, he's talked about independent artists, and it's great to be creative. People like us talking about these records, the freedom of creativity, which is true. I mean, I always talk about, not really here, but I talk about it to Al, corporate radio, the big radio stations, channels, you know what I'm saying, how they're corporate run, and you're basically being told what to say, what to do, how many commercials you have to play an hour, just everything. You cannot do what you want to do, just like here, and just like here, we get to be as creative as we want to be. Al can be as creative as he wants on the station, and it shows that people are loving it because so many people listen to us every day now. It's crazy. Like it's nuts. But it's because the fact that he can have that creativity and mixing different genres together. And again, these are all curated from what we love to listen to, what we loved to listen to, jamming in the car when we first met and stuff like that. And clearly everybody else loves this stuff too. So it is important to be able to be creative and independent. But again, it doesn't mean you're making any money when you're, being the freelancing, independent, creative artist, but you're happy. You're happy when you're able to do what you want to do without, the puppet strings going up and down every 2 seconds. Ugh, I but when you have to make a living, you gotta do it. You gotta put the strings on, you know? And let's see. That was it, and that's all I got from that interview. So I thought it was it was well done, and oh, so Laura said she doesn't like the label. It's stupid. It's rock. So I guess that's of yacht rock. And Sierra said, sounds like Steve is tired of being labeled. He just wants to be known as making good music. Oh, okay. And Tacitus Jones, Blue Suede covered BJ Thomas's Hooked on a Feeling. Thank you so much for that. And William, what is going on? William from Canada. Let's go. A Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for hopping in. And yeah, so it was a good interview, guys. If you haven't heard it yet, go ahead, take a listen, and it's always good to hear from Steve. We just love that. Now I got to listen to the Laura Cantrell one. If any of you listen to that, I have to go and check that out. Yeah, so that's what I got. I appreciate you guys being here so much. I enjoyed just pulling this interview, you know, pulling it apart. Sorry I didn't get some of the things correct because I was taking notes while I was doing other things, but listening, this is what our world is now. That's why podcasts are so popular because it's not like you're sitting and reading the book. You can listen and intake some great information while you're doing other things because we all multitask now, right? And yeah, it's pretty cool. So Tanya said, "So great to hear your thoughts, Kiki. Thank you so much." And I'm glad to hear yours as well. And Christine, thank you so much. And Evie says, "How sad that to this day Steve wonders why his parents got divorced." I agree. That's why I said there's so many more layers to him and so many more things that I'm sure he has not talked about and he probably won't. And it's okay. It's okay. He's sharing a good amount of information with all of us. He's sharing a good amount of his heart with us. So that's all we can ask for and that's all we can be thankful for. And speaking of thankful, I'm thankful to each and every one of you. I hope you have an amazing holiday. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve, a wonderful Christmas day. And if you get to relax this week, enjoy. Enjoy your time. Take some downtime. Don't get stuck in traffic. Take a breath, and it'll all be okay. I promise. I promise it'll all be okay. Guys, I love you, love you, love you. And I will see you soon. Merry Christmas. Bye, guys.